Good evening, and welcome to the Chaska Human Rights Commission meeting for Thursday, February 26th, 2026. First up on our agenda is our roll call. So, Elise, would you be so kind?
Commissioner McCluskey? Here. Commissioner Duffy? Here. Commissioner Hubbard?
Here.
Commissioner Hanan? Here. Commissioner Mee? Here. Commissioner Haga? Commissioner Sandison? Chair Carlson?
Here. We've all received the agenda. Are there any additions? If not, may I have a motion to adopt the agenda for this evening?
So moved.
Thank you, Kevin. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Britt. And we remembered our new switch. If there's no questions, all in favor of adopting the agenda signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes carry. Elise, did you want to introduce our new speaker or our new commission members?
Sure, Chair and Commissioners. As you know, every January, the council reviews what seats are open for different boards and commissions as folks' terms are rolling off or people choose not to renew. So we have two new commissioners at this point in time. The first one is Katie. She is a local business owner in Chaska. I won't do too much more. I will let you introduce yourself. We also have Sean Haga, who will be our youth representative. Our two alternates are not filled at this time. Council is soliciting additional applications, and we have two folks who are interested. We just need to finish going through the process with them. So hopefully by the March meeting, we'll have our two additional alternates. But,
Great.
Katie, you'd like to introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm Katie. There you go. Hi, I'm Katie. I'm a Chaska resident, and I own a business in downtown Chaska, kind of by Jones Coffee. And we've been there for about 5 years, and I've lived in Chaska all my life. It's called Mantra Creative Beauty. So at the end of the block, do you remember there's that Serve Pro sign that's been there forever? Yes. It's in that building. Yeah.
Okay. Well, great. Really glad you're with us.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here.
Excellent. Well, first thing on our agenda, or one of the first things beginning this year, as in every first of the meeting of our year, we recommend chairs and vice chairs. So I'll turn that over to Elise for her to initiate that process.
Certainly, yeah. As Chair Carlson, she's still the current chair under this year until we elect, till we go through this process tonight. What you're doing tonight is making a recommendation to the City Council, which will go at their next meeting on March 16th. So with that, recommend a chair and vice chair. And we will take that, and then moving forward, that's who will be on, as I guess, acting as your leadership for the commission. So we need a nomination and a second for each one of those, and then we'll vote on them as well. So with that, I am looking for nominations for chair. Let's start there.
I'm going to be selfish and throw my name in there.
Do I have a second for that?
I'll second that.
Okay.
Thank you. I guess it was my second choice.
Is there anybody else who would like to nominate somebody or nominate themselves? All right, so we have a motion and a second for Commissioner Hubbard as chair. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye. Oh.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
All those opposed? All right, congratulations. Commissioner, or now Chair Hubbard. Would you like to move with the vice chair then?
I would still like her to finish out this meeting.
Okay. So move forward at the March
I say
meeting.
that because I have the utmost respect for her. I just wanted her to, sorry, I'm touching, but I wanted her to kind of relax this year, because she's been going strong for at least 5 years.
A little bit
as- Longer than that as chair, so I want to give her that respected leadership this meeting. If I could, if you don't mind, do you? I didn't
No,
think
but
so.
normally the new chair
I know.
opens the floor for vice chair.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, well, let's open up the floor then for vice chair, please. Am I supposed to keep going? Any nominations?
There you go. You're doing a great job.
Well, I'll nominate Sarah if you're willing to go to that role.
Sure.
Is that okay?
I'll second that.
Any more? Any more? I was waiting for her. She did it for you. How come she can't do it for me?
No, that's because as chair, you do it now.
Ah, my goodness. You all have to have a sense of humor. Any other nominations? Anyone else?
No.
No? All right, what's the next one? All in favor or
Aye.
for Sarah?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, she is our vice chair.
Well, thank you, Chair Hubbard. I'll be honored to finish out tonight's meeting with your guidance.
Thank you very much, appreciate it.
So generally, our first meeting of the year, we do not have an open forum or a guest presentation. So I'll just go directly to the approval of the minutes. You'll recall that this was our last meeting in December, and a copy of those minutes have been sent out to each of you. Are there any changes, suggestions, deletions, or that we need to make to the minutes?
I don't see any.
Seeing none, may I have a motion to approve the minutes then?
Motion, so moved.
Second.
So a motion's been made and seconded for the adoption of the minutes. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Ayes carry. Thank you. Our treasurer's report is next, and for our new member, this is, our treasurer happens to be Elise, and so she keeps excellent records for us. So Elise, I'll ask you to go over our budget and where we stand as of today.
Certainly, Chair and Commissioners, it's really easy at the beginning of the year. There's not a lot of expenses, but expenses that came through from the MLK Day event are shown. First, I want to draw your attention, you have a $7,000 budget for this coming year. So as you think about the different events you want to plan, keep that in mind, and we will update this as the year goes on. So you can see in January, we spent just over $1,000 for the MLK Day event. Back in November, $2,800 was the budgeted amount. $800 of that was to come from the 2025 budget, which was used to pay for the books and the event center rental. And then $2,000 was available to the subcommittee in the 26 budget. The subcommittee did a great job of really watching that budget, and so came out with just spending just over $1,000. So that puts $921 that went back into the balance for the remainder of the year. So right now, your balance sits at $5,921.52.
Are there any questions? If not, may I have a motion to approve the treasurer's report?
I move to approve the treasurer's report.
I'll second it.
Motion made by Britt and seconded by Kevin. If there's no further questions, or are there any questions? If not, all in favor of approving the February 26, 2026 Treasurer's Report, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes carry. Thank you, Elise. Under our old business, we have the Human Rights Celebration. And this is in conjunction with Dr. King. And well, first of all, I want to thank the subcommittee of Hannah, Kichi, of course, and our outside person, Stacy Kumar Nelson, for working with me and the staff of the city to do a very successful and I think a very meaningful event in January. The city staff of Krista, Michelle, Kevin, and of course Elise really helped us do all the things that we don't necessarily see and could not do without their support and their help. I want to especially thank Kichi for her contribution. She was our host for this year's event. Very much appreciated. I hope that you enjoyed the experience and we didn't put too much pressure on you.
No pressure at all.
Having the script available through Stacy Kumar Nelson's work, I think kind of helps smooth that process, but I think that was good. We did continue the art contest this year, and I'm awaiting the voting of the art contest winners. I've got the poster all lined up on my dining room table. I've got everything glued to the poster that so far that I have. So I just need to finish that up, and then in February, Chair Martin and commissioners, I'll have that here and for inclusion in our lobby of the City Hall. I believe that we also have some prizes to give out. And so once Kichi and Hannah have a chance to vote on the art submissions, then we'll contact them and ask them if they'd like to come in, if you would like to do that. If not, we can just arrange to have the gift certificates awarded to the winners of the art contest. And also today, I wanted to share with you, after each event, we do an evaluation, kind of a follow-up, a wrap-up, just say, yeah, this worked really well, hey, let's not do that again, or whatever our feedback is. And so today, I wrapped up the information that I had received so far and submitted it to the subcommittee members. I would say overall, and I would ask, I guess Kichi, you were there, what kind of feedback you received from the event, and any general comments you have about the Dr. King celebration.
The overall comments that I received is they thought it was timely and the message was very poignant and necessary, along with the singing. So everyone felt very moved and felt the energy of the spirit of Martin Luther King, which is about peace and unity. And Ethelyn, the keynote speaker, especially said, and I'm going to put this in quotes, and maybe I'll ask her to, that Chaska has the nicest people.
That's great.
So she really enjoyed speaking, and she really enjoyed talking to people afterwards and just seeing how much they were really engaged and really wanted to and are making a difference in the community. So
That's wonderful.
So yeah, I think it went very well. Only feedback is that I posted on my Facebook page and Instagram, and there's people within Chaska. They're like, I didn't know it was happening, or else I would have been there. So, and that's on me because I could have posted on my own Facebook or Instagram, which is getting more of a reach out, so more of the community knows about it.
Well, again, thank you, Kichi.
Yes. And a shout out to Crayola for donating the Color Wonder.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. And really, those crayons will be used at other events through the Human Rights Commission, either another Dr. King celebration or at our summertime events. So thank you for submitting that request to Crayola. New business. Well,
Before we move on to new business,
Sure.
sorry, I want to comment. Before we move on to new business, I want to comment on the MLK. I wasn't able to be there, but I was able to watch it live, and I enjoyed it. I had to work, but I was able to go back, come back, so I think it being televised is very helpful. It's a good experience. I was still able to experience a lot of what was going on. So I just want to throw those 2 cents in there. So if it comes up next year, we make sure that we keep it on TV, because I won't be there. I'll have to be at work.
well, that's part of our thinking about what it is that we want to do in 2026. Certainly having a communication opportunity at every level that we can possibly think of, I think is really important for our activities and any events that we host. So that's something that I'm sure that you'll want to put some focus on and some attention on in 2026. So let's talk a little bit about what it is that we want to do in 2026 in terms of our events. You may recall, for those of us who've been on the commission, each year the chair and vice chair get together towards the end of the year and work on a strategic plan for 2026. And being consistent, Jennifer and I did meet and talked with Elise about the kinds of things that we thought could possibly impact 2026 and the commission. And certainly one of those pieces of that discussion was core events that we wanted to host in 2026. Sadly, because we had a major winter storm, we were not able to gather to talk about the strategic plan. But but that certainly is something that Chair Hubbard could choose to do. I would suggest as a group, we might want to do that in a work session environment as opposed to doing that during the course of our usual activity or business meetings. And I'd be happy to send you the information, or at least will send you the information that Jennifer and I had come up with. So I think probably what we need to talk about is what kind of core events do we want to have? And I would throw that out. In the years past, we've done basically 4 or 5. Certainly Dr. King, Human Rights Celebration in January. Typically, or historically, we've had our Pride event during the month of June. In September, we've participated with the City Parks and Recreation Department and others, sometimes by having a booth at the Latin Music and Food Festival. The past few years, we've also held a cultural awareness, a celebration in November. So those have been key activities. Over the years, we've talked about doing other things in those interim months. But as you all know, we are all volunteers, and we have jobs and lives and other things that we do during the course of our day. And so that might be enough of the activities that we want to do. Certainly, it's up for discussion. What are you thinking for 2026 activities?
I looked, so she's on page 5 of 6. And we can, I think, Chairperson Carlson, because that's what was going to come out of my mouth. I had to think about what I was going to call you before. She met with the previous commissioner, and they developed a plan, and over the years, we kept going through that plan, and I think we've kind of narrowed it down to what looks like it's about 6 items so far, and I think we've had a lot of events we want to do, and now we've narrowed it down, and I think narrowing it down to something that's we can put a lot of effort into and a lot of time into and make it a great event. It's better than having a long list, a laundry list of things. And we can, with a smaller list, we can, I think, partner with the city, whether it's Parks or Recs or whatever, and make it a great event. So that's my 2 cents.
So I'm looking at the 6 events on the last 2 pages. For the Pride Art exhibit with the Arts Consortium, I met with, I'm drawing a blank on her name, but back around the holidays. So we wouldn't be necessarily taking on this event. It would just be more of if we know people who want to do something within the LGBTQ community and art related, directing them to her to coordinate it all, so she can plan getting all the art and everything. So just be more assisting them in once everything's set, helping spread the word for it, or directing people to her or to them. I got them connected with Carver County Pride to help promote it and make a call for artists. For those who don't know, I work at a treatment facility, and it used to be an LGBTQ treatment facility. And I work with the alumni there. So I made a call out to them and got some of the alumni from the treatment facility who are artists connected with her.
Great.
So we wouldn't be taking this on head on. It would just be more of playing an assisting role in it. So, but yeah, that was that when I was looking at this. It would just be more helping out and less of us doing it as a commission.
So do we want to keep this? I mean, it's not like all these are set in stone. So is it something that we want to do? It's something you want to do?
I can still help out, but as I told her when I met with her, we're all volunteers, and I'll do what we can, but they're taking the lead on it, and we're just.
So let me rephrase that.
Okay.
How do I put this? Is it something that you want to do? Doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be the lead on it, but is it something that you would like to see us as a group do for 2026?
At least help promote it.
So yes?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Short answer, yes.
Gotcha. Are there any other items on the list we want to keep or keep working with, or is there something we want to add, or something we want to subtract? I know we talked about River City Days, which is on page 6. We talked about cutting it, talked about joining the city and standing at their booth. Keep it.
I wasn't able to make River City Days in 2025. How did it go? Was it comparable to prior years?
Martin was there, Kichi was there.
Yeah.
River City Days is the hottest weekend of the year, no matter where it is. I would say that we probably, we had water bottles as part of our swag last year. I think we still have some of those left. They were very popular because, of course, the temperature.
Yes.
We had, we did not play the Jeopardy kind of game, but we had Jenga. Is that? Yeah. But I don't remember during my shifts, I don't remember anybody playing that. So, and we bought swag for this year of pens, if my memory is correct. Right. So I would say, my suggestion would be is that, of course, I think we could join with the city and be in their space with a table. I don't think it's necessary, in my mind, to have planned games or activities, but just be available to talk with folks about what it is that we do and that we promote.
Do you think, I think this year, I mean, this might be diving too specifically, but it might be helpful to advertise our events at River City Days as a way, even just to get it on people's radar, you know, if we don't have set dates or whatnot, but perhaps consider having like pictures on a poster of past events and saying, this year it's scheduled approximately for like November, or, you know, MLK Junior celebration is always on this weekend in January, and that's an event that a lot of community members come to, and it would be a way to get knowledge out to maybe people we can't otherwise reach.
Martin has been very generous in allowing us to have his screen, and we've had a series of images roll through the screen. It is dependent a lot on electricity being current,
Yeah.
no pun intended. And when there has been issues with the electricity, then we don't always have that. Because I think a screen, I've thought since we've had that, has drawn people in, because it's a screen, and there's images, and they want to see what's on it. And I don't know if we would want to continue to do that, but that's been, you know, our promotion kind of piece. But yeah.
I think we can do it if we still partner with the city. You know, they have a bigger booth. We just take a corner of it, take a TV. At each event we have during the year, if we take a little bit of video, and by the time we get to River City Days, splice it together, throw it on the TV, it plays. Even if we don't have anyone to man that are part of the booth for that time, it's running. We still have something to say or do. So I think it's a great idea. I also want to throw this in there. We're talking about advertising. I think we should advertise for the next event. I also think we should plan our events through next quarter, the first quarter of 2027. That way we're planning ahead. Does that make sense? So we're not just planning MLK for January. We're going to figure out what we did, what we're going to do in February and March. So, you know, previous years we wanted to celebrate women in March, but it was always end of February, beginning of March when we decided to do it. It was too late. But I think we should plan ahead. Does that make sense? And kind of figure out what we're going to spend, how we're going to do it, and then the more time we take planning, the less effort it will be for us. Does that make sense? So.
And in the past, have we had like a QR code that people can scan so they can follow us on Facebook or Instagram?
Sounds familiar. Did you do that?
We can certainly create one that's easy enough to do, and you can have small little handouts or whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
Are there other events that we want to support or continue? We have reserved the facility for the Pride celebration for June 21st, 2026.
So last year, I think Kevin, you and Hannah and I had talked about potentially doing outreach to the schools in the community, and that did not come to fruition. I think we were all, it was just a busy year. But that is something I would like to explore. Maybe not right this second, because the idea just popped into my head, but just thinking about maybe outreach with the community that's not event-based specifically. And I think, especially, you know, we mentioned this last year, reaching out to the youth of the community and the people who are going to grow up in the community and help define it. It feels like a really kind of good place to start.
Does it have, sometimes when I talk, I just talk to be talking, so bear
Yeah,
with me.
yeah.
Does it have to be a pride celebration thing?
Oh, this would be unrelated to
Yeah,
Pride.
And I
Yeah.
guess I'm throwing out there, is it an all-year thing? Is it 365 days? Does it keep going beyond just this?
Yes, yeah, it was, I think the thought was, do you remember more specifically what we talked about last year?
Not in depth, not like in real depth, but it was just more of like, the thought was, you know, people tend to live in the communities that they grew up in, and so engaging like the youth in the generations behind us, so that way they feel more involved in the communities and have a vested interest in doing community-based things and being, just overall being engaged in different events, and then, because kids know how to work that social media stuff.
Yeah, I don't think it was so much about any one event in particular, but about engaging kids maybe within the schools. I think the thought initially was gonna be that it would be a school year-based thing, maybe periodic in some capacity, where, you know, we're going into a classroom or a school and helping teach maybe at a high level, kind of the concept of human rights and empathy and, you know, looking out for your fellow community members.
Is it like a program,
Maybe?
something?
Yeah.
I realize I'm just kind of.
Yeah, yeah. I can look at my notes from last year. I did not bring them,
You're
so,
fine.
yeah.
So what I'm hearing so far, just to speed this up, because it's like 7 to 7, no, just kidding. We want to keep the MLK event?
Yes,
Yes.
yeah,
We want to keep the Pride event?
yes.
We want to start a youth, I'm just going to say youth program, whatever that ends up being in 2026, 2027.
Mhm.
We want to participate in River City Days
Yes.
with the city
Mhm.
in some way. We didn't talk about the Cultural Heritage Month, really. We want to keep that.
I think we've had a lot of success with that event, the last, well, from my knowledge, the last 2 years in particular, but I think even 3 years ago, it was also successful. So I think that would be a good core event for us.
I saw posts on some of the Chaska community pages, people like calling out last year, saying how fun it was, and people actually felt represented. So I think we should keep it, because I thought that was cool, just when I was doom scrolling.
The Cinco de Mayo
Well,
event? of some
that's
sort?
something that the Chaska Rotary approached our liaison, Elise, saying, would the Human Rights Commission like to help the Chaska Rotary in celebrating Cinco de Mayo? That's been something that Chaska Rotary has done several years in a row. I don't think that they're planning to have that event, but perhaps you know more, Elise.
Chair and Commissioners, I checked in with a Rotary member, Rotarian, last week as I was putting this together, and there is still interest, is my understanding, if the Human Rights Commission is interested in getting a group together to help put it on. So I think it's up to this group to determine if you would like to help with it. The funds would come from the Rotary. You would not have to spend funds, but it's really the time that it would take to put it
Did
together.
they say how they envisioned that help, or what that help would look like?
That you would be putting on, like, doing the coordination for the event,
Okay.
just like we do for all these other
Okay.
events.
Is there a venue selected yet?
I believe they do at the event center every year.
Okay.
And I can get more details on how they've done it, what their expectations are, that sort of thing. That's, this is what's been communicated to me at this time.
I think considering the current climate, that is something that you should probably think about. Last year, I had reached out to, I'm sorry, I do not recall the person's name, but I had reached out to an organization who offered to come and be at one of our cultural events. And I have that information in the file, so it was a contact made, and saying, well, hey, if you have specific events that we would want to have their influence or their leadership, or them as a guest speaker, they put their hat in the ring, so to speak. So I can certainly get that information if you want to you.
I think we should move that way. Any other adds, subtracts, good list? Now we should see what,
I would be willing to help for a single day. I just wanted to put
oh,
my.
we knew that was gonna happen. But anyway, does everyone want to sign up for what event you would like to help organize, design, lead? I
I'd
think we
like
need 3
to help
for-
with Pride. Again.
Same, I'll help with that one too.
We have 2, we need 1 more for Pride, if any. You can think about that.
Okay.
3?
Great.
And just remember, we have a couple commissioners who are not here, and maybe a few more who will come on as well. So don't feel like this whole group has to fill everything.
MLK celebration?
I'll help with that again.
I'll help with that. No, I'll help with that.
I'll be happy to help.
3 of us. I've been wanting to do this forever. Can I add something to our list? Can we do something not this year, but next year, 2027? Can we do something for March Women's Month, or Women's History, or whatever you want to call it? That way we have a year to plan instead of 2 days.
Yes,
Yes.
I agree.
And I think I'd like to help with that. Would anyone for River City Days?
Should I get my own air conditioner?
What'd you
Should
say?
I get my own air conditioning unit?
Can you arrange that?
Yes.
I can
And
arrange
then
a
it's a
fan.
yes.
Yes, I can arrange a fan. I can get you some popsicles. I can get you
You
a
give me
portable
that,
freezer. I take care of you. I got you.
I will help.
Anyone else for that? Or any other events? I can help with River City Days. Is that 2? All right.
I'll help with Cultural Heritage Month. I know I helped a bit this year, but I was sad I had to miss it because I started my new job, so.
We had a great time.
We did. We did.
Well, rub it in. No, I'm just joking.
That
I'm
was a
glad. It went
really
well.
fun event.
We had a lot of help from community members too, which was exciting. To have that kind
Absolutely.
of, input.
Yeah, absolutely. It was great.
And will the focus stay the same? Or is it
TBD?
TBD.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I think it can be whatever we want to coordinate. I think we've had success in celebrating Africa and then doing 2 takes on the many contributions of our Indian community members. But absolutely, when we first started talking about having a cultural heritage activity, we had lots of grandiose ideas. But, well, not grandiose, I would say we identified various cultures that we thought that we could elevate and celebrate. And I think we did a good job with Celebrate Africa, with East African countries. And our two Indian celebrations have been just incredible. I think it bears weight to maybe continue that kind of a celebration, but certainly the committee would make that decision.
I enjoyed helping. I would help again.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was lots of fun.
yeah.
You have 3 names for that one? You have 2 for culture.
I have 2, but again, remember you have a couple other commissioners.
I nominate Commissioner Haga, who's not here. He should have been here. Oh, I'm serious. Oh, I'm serious.
I will put him down.
What about Commissioner Sanderson?
Oh, I don't know what her schedule's like. His schedule, he's a high school student. He just needs to be told what to do.
Okay. Alrighty. Well, Elise, what Elise does is she puts it into a chart format, and she'll send that all out to us. We have a chance to take a look and say, oh, Ray, hey, I really didn't say yes to that committee. Or, yeah, hey, I really do want to sign on. And then that will give our other 2 members and future commission members the opportunity to say, yes, I want to do. Okay. Anything else about planned activities or core events?
If you need a DJ for any of the events, I know a person. That's all.
We generally have a DJ at the Pride event. Just saying.
Noted.
Let's see. Anything else?
If we're gonna help plan the Cinco de Mayo thing with the Rotary Club, I can help plan that.
Elise, how soon can you get the details?
Monday?
Okay.
Oh, I have one question.
Sure.
I know last year at least we had talked about getting banners. Where are we at with that?
Still needs to be done.
Okay, all right. So they're not hiding in a closet
They're
somewhere?
not hiding in
Okay.
a closet, no.
Okay.
If that's something this commission would like to continue to do, I would probably look for some help in designing and that sort of thing. So if somebody was willing to work with me to do that.
I
Not a
know
ton
graphic
of
designers.
work, just
Yeah.
need to do some ideas back and forth, what you want.
Oh,
Okay.
We also have the information that we did a year ago on banners and we got prices and what we were looking for in terms of vertical versus horizontal, those kinds of things. So I have that history, as does, I'm sure Elise has it in the files.
I saved it as well.
And you saved it as well.
Yeah.
So,
You're all so organized.
If you have dates and times in which you think your event is going to happen, if you can email that to Elise, and we can put it on a banner or banners to move around, doesn't have to be the permanent ones.
I know, we had also talked about the idea kind of related to banners in the sense that we're acquiring product material for the commission, but getting like a sandwich board that we could then, we could print posters for, sort of reusable sandwich board that we could put posters on when we're approaching events, and then perhaps place it in high traffic areas of the city. So like Chaska Commons would be a place where we could potentially put up some sort of sandwich board so that community members would know about events that are coming up.
How many are you thinking?
It's a good question.
2, 3?
Depends on how expensive they are.
Well, if we bought one this year, if you say, okay, we want three, they're
Mhm.
expensive, we bought one this year, and then next year we picked up a second one.
Yeah.
And a third, at least we're planning ahead in the future to have.
I think 3 would be a good start, yeah,
You can always find a list somewhere.
true, yeah.
If you said something to me 2 years ago, I had three of them.
Oops.
I'm sorry. Why didn't you say something 2 years ago?
I was so new.
I will also check and see if we just happen to have anything in our coffers already.
Okay.
I don't know, but
Okay.
I'll look and see if nobody's claimed it.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else? Well, then there's a couple of things I guess I'm going to say. We were unable to say goodbye to our former commission member Jennifer Wellevert, who served on the commission, I think, for 9 years. And so if she's watching, thank you, Jennifer. Some announcements that we generally have in the month of January include the tax preparation that's ongoing through the AARP Foundation. And there's a telephone number that we can share. I thought I had it very handy right in front of me, but I don't. And there are several community events that are ongoing. I would think that any time that we can share the announcements with our viewing audience and maybe members of our audience here live, it's helpful to them so that they can kind of look ahead and say, wow, that's an event that I'd want to participate in. Let's see. Are there any other announcements? Well, then I wanted to share with you that last year I initiated a belonging moment, and I will not be doing that this year. Not unless you just insist and you say, Sarah, I really, really thought that was important. I had hoped that belonging moments would be kind of a platform for discussion, and sadly, we weren't ever able to get that ball rolling. My suggestion to our commission would be that as we plan perhaps guest speakers throughout the year, we could have them timed with a belonging activity, something that would remind us that we are all community members here, and that to hold each other up and to support each other is one of the things that we can do as a commission. So if you're looking to me to do belonging moments, unless you tell me, perhaps we can just incorporate them into discussions during the course of the year.
I thought they were belonging statements, and they were lovely.
Oh.
Yeah, really appreciated them.
Actually, I did find one for tonight's meeting, but then I thought, well, maybe we wouldn't continue that. So if you want it, or I'll just shoot them to you, Martin, and you can say, nope, that's good, or whatever you'd like. As a member of the Human Rights Commission, you should be getting the Minnesota Department of Human Rights newsletter. If you don't get this, you are welcome to sign up for it, and you would go to the Minnesota Department of Human Rights. They have a newsletter, and I'll just read you real quickly something that the Commissioner for Human Rights wrote, and I think it's very timely. Immigrant communities are confronting cruel and I'm sorry, I cannot say that word tonight. We will use every tool, that is the Department of Human Rights, available under state law to hold businesses accountable and protect fundamental civil rights for Minnesotans. And that's by Rebecca Lucera, who is the commissioner. And this month's newsletter talks about Minnesota's law clearly prohibiting discrimination, and particularly addresses the issue of immigration status. So if you have nothing else to do when you sign on to your computer next, you might want to check that out. Anything else? Any announcements? Kevin? Okay, Britt? Martin? No. Kichi?
No. Welcome, new member. That's right.
Thank you.
Katie?
I don't know if it's worth mentioning, but I can get banners at cost and potentially at no cost. So,
How delightful.
just a heads up. And possibly sandwich boards. I've never asked about them, but I'm sure I could probably get those at cost too. Yeah.
Okay. If there's no other business to come before us this evening,
I will just mention, I was just informed that all the tax preparation appointments have already been filled.
okay.
So,
Is there a standby list?
there is not.
Okay,
Trying to figure
well,
out where people should go, so we're trying to get that information. We know, we'll make sure we share it.
okay. All right. Well, having heard that there's no other business, I would, excuse me. Martin, are there any final comments that you would like to have?
No, ma'am, you're still running the meeting, go ahead.
Okay. If there's no other further comments or any other business to come before us this evening, I would entertain a motion to end our meeting.
I move to adjourn the meeting.
I believe we'll all say yes. Is
I
that
second
true?
it.
Yes.
Thank you. And good night, everyone.
Good night.
All right.